Hey everybody, it's good to see you today on day 3 of this training. I have a lot for you today. In case you came in the middle, my name is Bill Reinecke with MLM Science, and I am super excited today to share this information with you. And I know that a couple days ago I was talking about keeping things to about 15 or 20 minutes. I've got so much for you today that I'm going to do my best. But I'm going to give everything I got, so hang in there with me. So get a pad of paper, take some notes. So today we're going to look at how to pull the perfect prospect to you. Remember, we talked about pushing and pulling, and so in marketing we want to pull people to us, and in prospecting we're pushing. You know, it's kind of reminds me of kind of like a wolf on a prowl. You know, it's out there checking out the weakest animal in the herd. And so, and that's kind of the way I feel when I'm prospecting. If that's what I'm doing, I'm looking for the person who's not going to tell me no. And we're kind of looking for the person that looks like they might be the right type or whatever. So, you know, that pushes people away. So we want to definitely, we're going to look at how to pull people to you, and we're not going to, you know, we're going to let people identify themselves as the ideal customer or ideal person to be in business with. Tomorrow we're going to work on designing a sales funnel, so you'll definitely want to tune into that video, and that's the automation part of this business. And so I'm really excited about that. We're going to go into that process. But if you, you know, if you don't know how to find your ideal customer, you know, one of the ways to do that is think of you. You know, think about you and your situation. And, you know, if you were having a conversation with you, you know, or you were talking with you, you know, what would that be like? You know, what would be some of the problems that you would bring up, or that you'd be, you know, presenting? You know, things like, you know, you don't like to speak in front of others, or you don't like to do home meetings or hotel meetings, or you don't like to reach out to friends and family, and or, you know, you don't like hearing no, you don't like all the constant intense rejection that you get. So those are things that, you know, I think are pretty common, but I mean, think about what that might be for you. You could come up with a whole list of other things that I just didn't mention. But, you know, that's where a lead magnet really comes in. And when we're talking about a lead magnet, that's the bait, or an ethical bribe. I like to call it an ethical bribe. It is a kind of a bribe, you know. It can be a free report, it can be a video, it can be a gift, you know, whatever it is, it can be whatever you choose, but it needs to be the sexiest thing about your core business, and you need to make it free. And so that's what I've done here, and this series that you're watching right now is my bait or my bribe. And so, you know, just to be all, you know, transparent up front, you know, that's what got you attracted to me. And that's why you're sitting here here on this third day. So this is how I get people to come to me, and so this is how we're doing the pulling. And this is what I want to teach you, is to do the same thing, so that you're not pushing people or, you know, prospecting, but you're actually marketing. And this is the, you know, part of the marketing activities that I want to teach you today. So if you want, you could actually use this training as your bribe if you want. And feel free to take notes and make your own video series. You know, it's very popular. I've got video series out there on, you know, different funnels, and it works very well. I like doing video trainings, and so that's what works for me. And if you don't want to make your own and you want to use these videos, you can feel free to do that. You know, it's have not branded any particular company, or any company for that matter, and I've talked just purely about the MLM business and how to start that. So, you know, that's one thing you can do. You can also use webinars. Those are very powerful, and they provide a lot of value. You know, and I've been working on some webinars for a while here, and but it's one of the things I've been doing a lot of research on, because I want to, you know, at least I know when I come out of there with my first webinar, probably not going to be the best or the perfect, but I want to avoid a lot of mistakes that are obvious. And what I watch in a lot of webinars, and I've watched a lot of them, is that they last about an hour to an hour and a half. They really start out really strong. People make promises, and so then I look for those promises to deliver. And so what I find and what is really discouraging, and I would encourage if you decide to do a webinar, is that you provide the value and over deliver, but what ends up happening and what's disappointing is when people turn it into a pitch fest and they just continue to pitch their product, they pitch their business, they pitch everything, and it's all about the product. They're leading with the product, and it's not about you or anybody else. So to me, that's just a waste of time. But webinars are very effective. People make millions of dollars with webinars, and done right and done well, it's a great way to go. So really, when we talk about value and helping is the new selling. And what we do when we're helping or we're selling through that way, or we're providing value to the community, is we're providing answers for the people that are in front of us to solve a problem that they're experiencing. So that problem, could be that you're wanting to figure out how to build your internet marketing business or your MLM business. And so it's kind of like, fly fishing. I'll use that as an example. So let's just say that I go to a sports show, and they've got hunting equipment there, and fishing equipment, and boats, and all kinds of different kinds of boats and stuff. But I walk down the aisle where I see these long 9 and 12 foot rods, and I know those are fly rods, and I see the fly reels laying on the tables and in the cases, and so I know that's my aisle. So I start going down there, and and I got a guy who comes out of his table, and he's got a fly reel in his hand, and he says, look at these sealed bearings, and you could virtually drop this in salt water and it won't harm it. And and then people are just kind of jumping out and saying, hey, come over here, I'll give you half a dozen free flies if you'll try out my my rod and reel combo or whatever. And so people are selling, and they see me, and they see the look on my eyes, and I'm like a kid in a candy store, and they're pushing me down the aisle. And then but I'm going in there, and I'm thinking what I really need is I'm looking for a fly line that casts, and I've got questions about the fly line, and there's so much to know about it. And I stop, and a guy comes up, and he sees me looking at fly line, and he goes, do you have any questions? So I ask him a question, and he spends the next 45 minutes educating me on this fly line that helps me to do a better roll cast. So what am I going to do? This guy is giving me all this free information, all this value, without asking for anything in return. He's got fly rods and fly reels, which I'm also been looking at. Who do you think I'm going to do business with? So helping is the new selling. I'm sold. I don't hear all these other guys that are desperate and that want me to come over and are trying to sell me something. I don't need another fly rod or another fly reel, but it's always nice to have another one. I would buy one if it was, if I could see the benefit in it. So that's what people do, though, in the MLM business or the network marketing industry, is they lead with the product, and they lead with the company. It's like, here's the best diet plan, or this company, this is their matrix, or and so people don't sign up for those reasons, and this is the worst thing you can do. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people are doing the same thing. They're leading with their product, they're leading with their company, the logo of their company is all over the place. It's free advertising. I'm telling you, stop if you're doing that. And so you want to, again, differentiate yourself and get out there away from the pack or away from the crowd where people can see you. It's kind of like being at a concert, and you're in the middle of 10,000 people, and you ask your friend, hey, did you see me at the concert? And they say, no, I didn't see you. But if you stand out from the crowd and they looked around, they would be able to say, yeah, I saw you standing out there, off to the side, and that's what we want to do. We want to position ourselves to where we can be seen. Just look at Facebook or Instagram and do a hashtag search and just look at what people are doing. And they're all mimicking each other, and they're mimicking what doesn't work. So these people that I'm talking about are leading with their product, and so that's a no-no. And so how do you sell a lot of anything? That's really the question. And what does it mean to find a target market and what they need? So what you want to do is you want to find the market that your product, like I talked about, I believe yesterday, and how your product's going to fit. But when you do that and you start to lead with value, with education, starting to figure out what it is that they desire and providing information or value to fill that void, that need or that desire, that's when you get invited into their life, into their worlds. And so you signed up for, gave me your email, and I started emailing you this training, for example. So what you have done is you saw something that I had of value, and I hope, and my goal is that it's been more, or I've over-delivered, and I continue to over-deliver. And so in doing that, you have invited me into your world, which I am very grateful for. And so that's how that works. And so hopefully, as we progress in this process, that we can then form a relationship. And so you want to position yourself as an expert in the world. And so that doesn't mean that you know everything there is to know. And surely there's people out there in the MLM world or network marketing world that know a whole lot more than I do. I'll be the first one to admit that. But what I've done is I've done a lot of homework, and I do know quite a bit about how to drive traffic and how to generate leads and how to automate this process. And so, and I also know, based on my years of training and experience in other fields, I know how to train people, and I know how to really meet those needs. So you want to position yourself in the same way as to being an expert. You only need to know more than the person you're working with, and then be willing to continually develop and learn more as you go along. You don't have to know everything to get into this. And let me just say right now that if you're sitting there thinking, well, I'm going to do this, I want to set up a lead magnet, I'd like to set up a video series. Whatever you do, do not think about the 10 reasons why you can't. Think about the 20 reasons why you can, and don't sit there and downsell yourself or minimize yourself, but think about what you have to bring. And that's where it starts. And so if you go back and look at my first video on this channel or on MLM Science, you know, it'd been a while since I'd stood in front of the camera, and I was a deer in the headlights, and it was a bad day. So, you know, what my point in bringing that up is that you got to start somewhere. And so don't let that stop you. And that's how you sell a lot of anything, is you just put yourself out there. You're branding you. And then you want to build a relationship by giving more value. And so the value that I want to give doesn't stop with these 5 videos. I want to continue to provide value, and I want to continue to provide training, and provide continue to build our relationship through added value in different ways. And so what we do is you want to sell your services and your products on the back end, and after they know and trust you. So, you know, there's products that as you go and progress with me, the longer you are, there'll be products that I'll present to you that would be helpful. But you notice that I'm not even leading with my own products, and so that's an important thing. It feels kind of weird. I'm standing here, I'm kind of telling you my tactics, but that's part of this training. And so when I'm working with, in sales funnels, I start out by providing value and trust, and then when we get that trust, and as people progress into the funnel that I'll explain tomorrow, then I can start presenting products, and people will start to buy those products and experience the value that exceeds the amount of money that they pay. And then eventually, if they come through the process, that some people make it into my downline and the organization I'm in. So whatever it is you're doing, though, you want to provide services or training for those people that come to you and allow you into their world and invite you to be a part of their world, and like we're doing here. So excuse me, what do you offer somebody that's already in the business or in the same industry, you might be wondering? Well, I'm getting ready to tell you some super ninja stuff, so you definitely want to write this down. Are you ready for this? What they want is they want more sales and more leads. And they want more sales and more leads in the business that they're already in. That's what they want. And that positions you out from the crowd. They want help marketing in the market they're already in. And so as that positions you as a coach and not as a high pressure salesman. And so as you're doing this and you're coaching, you're building a relationship. And so the best person to find is a person that's already in the industry. What happens is that people go on the hunt, the prospecting, and they start recruiting, cross-recruiting people from other companies. And so you don't want to do that, because that's the push. But if people, as you do this, people will come to you and they make that choice. I don't know if that's the best thing, but people are going to go where their needs are going to get met. Unless, of course, they're in a company like I am and they're really sold out to the product and they believe in the company. So, I mean, 95% of the people who come into your funnel are not going to join you for one of two reasons. And those two reasons are that they're going to disqualify themselves, or you're going to disqualify them. Because remember, you don't want to be in business with everybody that comes through your funnel. You want to be in business with business builders, not leeches, and not people that are needy. You need go-getters and people that are going to build the business and build their business. You need people that are going to be kind of self-starters. You don't need projects or people that you've got to be pushing and encouraging and trying to motivate them. No today doesn't mean a no in the future. Okay, so just because you get a no doesn't mean a no in the future. And remember that this business that you're in is a marathon and not a sprint. Ask yourself this question: are you in this for the long run, for the marathon, or a short 100-yard dash? And that's a question you really need to be honest with yourself about. Because remember, this is about building relationships. And where you are at right now in my funnel, you may not even watch the video tomorrow, or you may choose today because I said something, or maybe you just don't like my personality, or maybe we're not a good fit, and you choose not to continue on, or maybe you do. And so the reason I bring this up is because this is a relationship, and we've got to form a relationship, and it takes place over time. I'll be honest with you, there's people out there that I follow, and a couple people that are actually mentors to me, that I didn't care for them in the beginning. But because they continue to bring value to me and my business, I began to see them in a different perspective, and we started to form a relationship. And so relationships are kind of funny things, and they're not something that you can prescribe or force or formulate. And so the people that you end up talking to are people that have made a choice to talk to you and want to talk to you in the end. And so it's a process. And so you can't just start out one day and think, well, I didn't get the results I wanted, so I'm going to stop. You have to continue this marathon, and you just don't know what the outcomes tomorrow are going to look like. So put the system together, and which I'm going to show you how to do over the next few days. And the system is part of the nuts and bolts. It's the work, it's the automation, and the number one question your prospect has is whether they actually say it or not. But if you can answer this question, you're going to recruit. Your recruiting is going to skyrocket. It's going to go through the roof. And there's actually 5 of these questions that you need to ask these people as they're coming through this process, and they're deciding whether or not they want to have a relationship with you. The questions in your prospect's mind are, who are you? So I'm Bill Reinecke, and I've been in the internet marketing space for about the last 5 years, and actually longer than that, but really consistently for the last 5 years. And I have been reverse engineering the network marketing aspect of things on the street, and how to do it, automate it on the internet. What do you have to? So if I was answering that question, which I am, what I have to offer is lead generation for MLM or network marketers, and I have an automated system that I have devised and that I'm putting together to automate the lead generation process. Third question they'll have is, why should I listen to you? And the reason you should listen to me is because this automation process that I put together grows while you sleep. And it's all automated, and it provides lots of leads. The next question they'll ask is, can I do this? And the answer is absolutely, they can do this. And they're going to ask you, well, is it worth it? And then you can answer that. And the best way to do that is through testimonials and helping them realize or see themselves doing it. So one of the ways we do that is we stop promoting what it is. Okay, so when we're answering these questions, we don't want to promote what something is, whether it's our product or whether it's our automation system or wherever you're at in the funnel. and you want to start promoting what something does and how you're going to help them do it. So, and in this instance, our automated system, what it does is it automates the process of people coming into the funnel, qualifying themselves, and they do it while you're sleeping, and the people that you end up talking to are people that want to talk to you, so you don't have to experience all that rejection. People promote their businesses, and they promote with features and not benefits. And so what I mean is, for example, is I have a screw here. I don't know if you can see that. It's a screw. And this is not just any screw. This is a 3-inch wood screw. It's got these special threads here, that are very sharp, and they're designed to go into multiple layers of wood, and they're guaranteed to not pull out or ever back out. It's got a Phillips head here that is guaranteed to not strip, and when you're really getting on it with a screw gun. And so you want a screw? There it is. You really don't have much use for it, right? So but you have 2 pieces of wood, and you need something to fasten them together. Well, I've got this screw, and it's 3 inches. It'll join 2 pieces of wood together, 2 2x4s, and it's got these threads that are very sharp, and they're angled at such an angle that when they go in, they will never back out. And it's got this Phillips head here that will not strip out on the most brutal force, and it's made out of a special alloy steel that is guaranteed not to rust. Now, do you have a use for it? See, I talked about the features of it to start with, but then I talked about the benefits of joining 2 pieces of wood together. But hey, you've got the screw here, you've got something to join your wood together, but now you need a screwdriver. Do you need a screwdriver? This is a Craftsman Phillips head. It's got a lifetime warranty. There's all the features. But this Craftsman is not just any Craftsman screwdriver. It has a specialized Phillips tip on there that fits directly into this specialized Phillips head here on this screw, so that you can put maximum pressure and force on it to get it into the wood. And those wood seams are guaranteed to never come apart. You never have to worry about them again. You see the difference? Now you want the tools, right? You want the screwdriver, and you want this special screw. It's just a regular screw. But my point is that that's what we do, or what people do, is they lead with all the features, but there's really not building any value into it or any benefit. So the best way to show what your product does is through testimonials. And testimonials of others really answers the question of, can I do this? And it helps your prospects envision themselves using the product or using the system that we're developing here, that we've developed. It helps them envision themselves getting automated leads while they're sleeping. And so that is one of the best ways, is through testimonials. And then you show them that you have a plan for them, and that when they get in there and start to work with you, that they're not going to do this alone, that there's coaching, and that you're going to provide them with a turnkey system just like the one you're using. And then people come with their hopes of being rich and taking control of their lifestyle, but they often don't have any way of knowing how to succeed. So there's another need. And so every time that you bring somebody into your business, it creates other little problems that give you an opportunity to continue to provide value. And this is again where you come in, and you're able to show them and how you have a plan and how the plan works, and you can show them how to implement it. And this is why it's important to get business builders and entrepreneurs, and not people that become your project, or people that are always on your heels wanting you to do it for them. So I tell a lot of stories, and that's one way of letting the prospects see themselves doing what they're questioning, and help them imagine seeing themselves using a product. And that is one of the best ways, through stories. And stories that I use are not made up. A lot of most of them, I should say, are my real life stories. But I use a lot of imagination stories. So I will say things like, imagine if, and then I'll fill in the blanks with a story. So you can do stories that way also. And so people, though, need to see and realize that it works, and that there's nothing easy. And so again, you notice I don't want to emphasize that it's not easy, but we don't want to sell them or convince them on hype and something that's not true, and then they get in there and realize, nobody told me I was going to have to work. So that's not fair to them, it's not fair to you, and it really is, it's just a waste of time and a lot of energy. And it gives the industry another black eye, which I really, really am in support of not doing. So, you have to be successful in this process. You do. This is a process. It's something that you're not going to be, successful completely overnight. It is a process. But you have to be the person you're trying to attract. You have to be working towards becoming the person that you want to be. And so, for example, are you trying to make money on purpose? Sometimes people, not sometimes, a lot of times, most of the time, people are afraid to make money. They're afraid to ask for the sale. And you can't be afraid to ask for the sale. You have to be that person that can step out there and ask for it when it's time. Are you the person you want to be when it comes to leadership? That's scary too, but you have to become that person, and that's part of the process. True entrepreneurs really understand this, and they also understand that there is an investment involved in both their business and themselves. And so it's a lot of work. And so it'd be easy for me, to just sit back and say, well, I'm going to take the day off today when I've got a list on my desk of things that need to be done. So there's got to be some self-discipline in there. And there's a whole myriad of things that come with that success. So the truth is about MLM and network marketing is that it takes an investment. It takes time. It takes some money to be successful. It doesn't take hundreds of thousands of dollars like it would if you were buying a franchise. And the thing about it is that it's a growing industry in spite of the bad press out there. And something that was interesting that I read the other day, actually I've come across it in a couple of places in the literature, is that a lot of the top income earners today are people that have been in their MLM business or industry for 1 to 5 years. They're not the people that got in on the ground floor. And so that's the beautiful thing about today. And this system that I'm training you on is that you have this opportunity to really make this work for you. Now, these leads that we're talking about are people. These are human beings. And I think that it's also important that we never forget that it's not a number on an email list. They're not emails, leads. These are people. And these are people that you ultimately want to, as they come through your funnel, you want to build a relationship with. It doesn't take hundreds of thousands of dollars like it would if you were getting into a franchise. And that is the beautiful thing about the network marketing or MLM business. Now, imagine that and picture yourself getting 12 leads a day. 12 people that are wanting to come into your business or talk to you. And these leads are people who want to be successful, and they're not begging. They're wanting to come in and build their business. Imagine if that was happening to you. What would that be like? Well, that's the process and the system that we're setting up here that we want to duplicate. 3 things to do consistently, and that is to promote yourself first, and by giving value to your prospect. And so by doing that, you begin that relationship process, and they're beginning to know you, and you're the brand, not your product. Second, promote your team's marketing system and strategies. And so ultimately that's what you want to do. The strategies that I'm talking about here are strategies that are implemented within my marketing team or my downline, and they're things that are duplicatable. This puts them in your business before they even join. And the third thing is promote your opportunity, not what it is, but by what it does and how you're going to help them do it. So your opportunity isn't the MLM company that you're in. The opportunity is in the automation, the process, the relationship, and all these things that we've been talking about. When they get in business with you, they're not getting in business for the company so much, or maybe they are, but they're getting in because of these added values and added benefits. So your business and your income will grow to the extent that you do. And so this is part of the growing process. It's painful sometimes. You got to push yourself, and you know, that's just part of it. So let me just quickly recap. I want to thank you for hanging in there. I know we went a little over today. I thought we might, but you know, and I appreciate you being here till the end. But we talked about today to target people like you, not friends and family. You know, helping is the new selling. So you want to make sure that you're providing help and looking for solutions to the desires and the needs and the pains. The best lead magnets help people in their current business. So, you know, what I'm doing here, you can take this and duplicate it into your own business. And remember that somebody that says no today doesn't mean that that's a no in the future. So maybe they're just not there today. And, you know, so they can hang around and consume the helpful information that you're giving them. And at some point they'll come around. You want to promote what it does and how you'll help them do it. And so the most important question is to answer, can I also do this? And so of course they can with your help. And so the best way to get them envisioning themselves in your business is to promote your team's marketing strategy and help them to see that they're in there and that other people are successful doing the same thing that you're promoting. And as the leader, you must know marketing. And so, you know, maybe that's something that you don't know a lot about today, or maybe you feel like, I don't know marketing. You can start learning today. Just start learning a little bit, you know, about marketing. And you know, that's a whole training. There's a lot to it, but that is a process that you'll learn as you spend time with me. I will talk about marketing action, marketing activities, what those are, the differences, and those sorts of things. So that's the recap from today. I'll see you tomorrow.